Dibs and Willard in the house.
Yeah.
What's up, peeps?
Hey.
We could go to 2:30.
What's
We
not
juice.
Yeah,
I have a haircut appointment today. I'm getting my haircut.
You don't need a
Brogans.
haircut. You look great.
I hate it right now.
Seriously?
Okay, dude.
You got a good head of
you got a
hair.
big day tomorrow. You got a summit. You're going to see people.
Yep.
Do you like to
Yeah.
get the fresh cut right before the event, or do you like to get it like a few days? Because you're going to be real high and tight now.
Now, let me tell you something, Mark. It's interesting. How about this?
I asked the tough questions.
When I was a little bit younger, not much, it was weird. Every time I got a haircut, I used to love to go for a run.
After the cut?
Yeah.
That's how you feel.
I don't know. There's a correlation.
You
but there
do
was
feel
for me.
light. I don't know what it is. You feel like
better.
you lost 4 pounds.
There's no doubt about
You
it.
didn't, but
Let me
it feels
ask.
that way.
Let me ask the appropriate follow-up, which is, when was the last time you went for a run? Was it 19 ...
No, it's 2000. I got a piece of news I got to share. According to Schefter, none of the 3 injuries for the 49ers are considered long-term.
Right.
None of the 3. That's all, right?
Yeah.
All have a chance to play Monday.
Okay.
That's a big.
There we
Good.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what long-term means because, there's long-term and then there's like 2 to 4 weeks. But
See, I
think
I was thinking he's probably going to miss 2 or 3 weeks.
Me too.
And he might. He might.
I thought it was 4 to 6.
I doubt it.
Man.
No, I looked at it right away based on I went searching last
look
night
at
because I
you.
walked out of here. Dibs knows. I walked out of here
But
frustrated.
wasn't it cryptic
I'm
like you had no news?
I'm like, why aren't you telling us anything? What is going on? He's not in the MRI machine all day.
we got to 5:30
What's
and
going
he got
on?
sad.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm
no
like-
news is bad news. And I'm like, Mark, this is not you.
no,
You're normally
I-
like the
They're
happy
sitting on
guy.
the
I
bad
just was
news.
like,
Man.
what's happening? You gotta. So I went deep with, from Doc Chow to Rap Sheet, and I'm YouTube, and I went everywhere I could go last night to try to find something. And we pretty much found what Schefter's saying here, but what I gathered out of it that I felt firm with is there's no way any of these guys is not at minimum back after the bye.
Okay.
They've only got 2 more games.
Sure.
And then they've got a bye. Worst case scenario, therefore, you're looking at a couple missed games, which I don't think is even off the table based on this. But knowing the toughness of the people we're talking about, now it feels surprising if they would even miss those 2.
Yeah.
Maybe Monday, maybe. But it's good news.
No, there's no doubt.
It's all good news.
Well,
pain
it's all-
tolerance
well,
for
that's for
C-Mac.
You
Christian,
mentioned the toughness, and I was listening to a sports radio show in the market earlier, and the topic of Deebo Samuel came up, and I can't remember who the host was, but somebody used the S word as a 4-letter word about Deebo Samuel. Called him soft.
Yeah. That guy trolls sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I've heard his show.
Yeah.
But you know what went
I'm a
down?
big fan of his show.
Yeah.
He doesn't
That's not
even
me.
know.
No.
It was you.
It's totally
Yes.
you.
It's an episode of Three's Company right now. They got
come and
their-
knock
I
on
got
my
you.
door.
Shout
No.
out. R.I.P. Suzanne
Steiny,
Summers.
you have to
Yeah,
know,
dude.
people are coming in and out on the radio.
Yeah.
You
know what,
cannot
Willard?
assume.
I never
that
said
we-
Debo was soft.
I mean, pull the tape, because I heard it too.
I mean-
the 2 of us live in completely different
said-
sides of the bay.
I may have said
and we both-
gutless.
You
No, you
said,
said
Oh, yeah, the caller called in. He didn't like it. He didn't like the pregame. He was like me.
Yeah,
old
you
school.
blew it on the context, guys.
No.
We had a caller that says,
It's-
It came out of your mouth.
You blew it on expecting me to have context.
blew it.
I go into
Exactly.
Safeway to get my pasta salad
Look
and
at
my
you.
cash
Never
out
said it.
and play my
did.
Powerball. And as I'm leaving the car, Debo soft.
I was getting pants hemmed.
Yeah.
I went
I got
in.
your back,
What
Johnny.
you missed was Debo was soft.
No, what
I'm
you
like,
missed
damn
was
it, I'm going back inside.
Man.
So you missed the part where I said I can't believe that caller said Debo is soft.
There it is. Episode
Night,
of Three's
no.
Company.
No, that's
They
not
missed
what
that
happened.
part.
Mr. Furley.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
I like Mr. Roper.
Furley.
Yeah.
We'll go to the tape.
Yeah.
Furley greater than Roper.
Yeah.
Clearly.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Don Knotts.
Roper didn't go to the Regal Beagle much, so I'm with you. Furley got
Regal.
after it.
Yeah, Furley,
That was my
Furley
spot.
was a little bit edgier. And yeah, Suzanne Summers, R.I.P.
Yeah,
for
no
those
doubt.
of you who partake.
Who was Jack's
Regal-
buddy? Larry? Larry always used to get after
Larry.
him. Yeah.
Is it Larry, the guy with all the hair?
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
and dude, dial it back, Larry. Okay, you're like 0 for 28. You're like Jose Altuve in the NLCS.
First of
Regal
all,
Beagle capacity 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They have the one booth.
Half the TV characters back then were named Larry. And second of all, we're the ones who should tap it down because, my God, we sound old right now.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And you're the youngster in the room, too.
Back to Wiggins.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I got something for you guys.
What's up?
So I'm going to switch it up. So last night, I'm about to go to bed, and I see Klay Thompson's IG. And I've learned, I don't know why I added that, but I've learned these young guys and these athletes, they communicate with the Twitter now, with the IG. Klay Thompson, and I'm trying not making nothing out of nothing. He had the great Tupac line of the picture, Me Against the World, one of the greatest albums.
Great album.
And I come in here and I try not to bring it up, but I'm thinking to myself, they're talking about unity, Mike Dunleavy, connectivity, and I'm all aboard like that's what got. But when I saw that, guys, that didn't feel connected to me. It may have had something to do with his neighbor, a friend.
I know his neighbor.
Do you know the neighbor?
I do.
Oh, wow.
I do. I know my sister, very good friend of my sister's in high school. No joke. And she's done very well for herself.
Right.
Anyway, onward. Go ahead.
So we got to thinking, like, you think that had anything to do with where his contract status is at, or you feeling like, why was this?
First of all,
it's me against the world when you come to Chase, because I'm hoping not.
Wait a minute. Tell me again where you saw it.
On his IG.
No. But like, where did it say that?
The Tupac. It had it. Me against the world.
On his wall?
Yeah, on the wall.
Okay.
And Stoney went to look at it.
Do we think he put something up on his wall just yesterday because Woj and Bob Myers had some sort of a conversation over the weekend?
That's where I went.
I don't know. There's no way to know. I would actually more guess that that's the kind of thing elite athletes do to sort of focus themselves, especially with what he's been through. I would imagine.
Or about to go through if he goes into game one with no new deal.
I'm talking more about rehab than contracts.
All right.
This is a man whose lower half of his body absolutely blew up for 2.5 years running, and I would imagine as he's lifting weights and trying to get back that it probably felt like me against the world.
But he had
only a guess.
If he had a 4-year deal for $128 million, which by the way would be fully guaranteed, I guarantee you he would not be going Tupac and talking about, I take a shot to take the pain out. If I wasn't high, I'd try to blow my brains out.
Dude.
That's the opening lyrics.
I mean, you guys really think he decorated his house based on contract negotiations?
Yes.
Somebody who's
what did you say when you went and saw it?
What do you mean decorated his house?
Well, you're telling
his wall.
Yeah, his wall.
Oh, IG.
Are you talking about his
IG
internet
wall?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
God, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, you guys think he's putting art on his wall because he doesn't like what Mike Dunleavy said to him?
Based on where he lives, the HOA would be knocking on his door.
Exactly.
No, this was on his IG.
Yeah. Well, that's different.
Yeah,
maybe.
And Stoney went and looked, and what did you say when you saw it?
I said, I don't think he's getting an extension, and he knows it.
Until the end of the year, if at that point.
Well, they can do it any time. I thought it was before game one, Tuesday. No, they can do it any time.
No, but if he's like knocked on their door and Mike Dunleavy
no doubt
said, go ahead and play basketball and we'll get back to you in, April, hopefully June, then he's probably feeling some kind of way.
Okay, so let's pull that apart for a second because that's interesting to me. Klay Thompson, who already one time stood up on a stage with a microphone and thanked the Warriors for paying him over $80 million when they knew he would not be able to play basketball.
That's what I've been telling Stoney.
Came to a hospital with a max contract extension, and he already was like, who does that, right? Who bleeping does that? That was an actual quote. You're telling me that now he's going to be offended that the Warriors have not broken him off another contract when everybody in this room and everyone listening to us left last season livid with the way that he played basketball and all thinking we're not sure what he's got left. I'm not out on the idea of Klay as a future Warrior, but the idea that the Warriors should be breaking off 3 more guaranteed years at $35 million right now, I think is nuts.
Well, he's not offended. He
might be using his motivation.
Exactly. It's motivation. And Kelly Rowland, he's...
If he's putting it on the internet, he's at minimum he's upset. He's annoyed. I don't know if offended is too strong.
And especially 2 days after that report with National.
Yeah. They're far apart. There have been no movement, whatever. Like, he frustrated. Frustration sensation.
And
It's a buck.
after all, he didn't put up picture me rolling.
Thank you. Look at you.
It came on the text, but I have that album.
Sure you do.
The Outlaws with a Z. In your face.
I like where I'm shocked.
In your face, guys.
Oh my God.
Like, do you have the CD? Do you have the record?
Yeah,
I have the album.
I have the album.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
does
I've
that
known you
mean?
for a long time.
You either ride with us or collide with us.
You,
He got it.
dude, he
Simple as
does
that for me and
It's
mine.
somewhere.
Me and mine.
Wow.
He's got an 8-track.
Yeah,
I
boy.
can
You and I have been
feel it.
friends for a long time, but we've
were playing that
never
on Monday night,
played
yeah.
records or CDs. You've punched up some stuff on the phone.
But Scotty, tell him I feel like you're being shy. Tell him what you told me when you saw that.
Tell him.
I think he's not getting a contract extension.
Like ever?
No, now.
Yeah.
Just now.
He
Just now.
shouldn't.
But
Yeah, that's
Willard-
my point. He shouldn't.
But
Why would he? Why would the Warriors
Okay.
do that?
Draymond didn't get one.
I'm naive.
Give me
Nancy.
one good reason. Why would the Warriors
Okay.
do this now?
Can I just rewind to the absolute Woj? Absolutely no progress. Why do I take that as a slight? Like that had an extra mustard on it.
That means that the two sides are firmly standing where they are right now, and those are not the same place. And that's actually to be expected. Klay Thompson thinks he is an elite player.
See, and he brought up Jaylen Brown.
And
I
he
know
might
Klay's
be.
not trying to get Jaylen 2 for 60.
But if you're the Warriors, knowing that you've got Chris Paul's option at the end of the year, you've got a changing CBA, and you've got a player who didn't shoot all offseason and then admitted that he flamed out in the playoffs. Again, this isn't to criticize, but why would you do that now? Let it play out. There's nothing wrong with letting it play out.
But he won a championship in 2022, and he led the team in minutes
I don't
in the
know who he's
postseason.
That's a 2 for your guru.
Oh, stop. That ain't even me. I don't know where he gets that.
He's
at.
doing his
Who is that?
I don't know.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game. You really are. KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
I know
I
where
don't know who it
origins
is, but I
from.
like that
You
person.
and
It's
him
funny.
had that love fest when you did a show together. Remember them two? And Steiny goes,
That's
we
just
used
how
to
I
go
am
to
with
Mr.
everybody,
Parinelli's backyard.
Mr.
and we would
Baber.
we would get the ball, and he would get. That's who that voice
That's
is.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing you doing him
it.
with Mr. Babanelli.
Do you know your boy's
whoever.
getting hip surgery?
No,
Replacement.
no.
You've been listening to the show.
Wow.
I listened to him call Debo soft, and I put on music.
I know. It's
That's
very,
what I did.
Talk about offended.
Yeah,
Good
seriously.
Lord, I couldn't take
When's
it.
your surgery, Steiny?
I don't know yet. I was supposed to go in for pre-op Friday, but now it's been pushed back. There's a lag period of a couple months, I think.
He had to get a haircut instead, so they had to move the appointment back.
I had a big week this week. Haircut today, summit tomorrow, and I was going to go to the doctor on Friday.
Wow.
Which hip? Left
Rest
or right?
up. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah.
Left.
That's the left hip. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Man,
so
so
you-
you
you're
got to go to
sticking
bed
and
early.
moving. Right.
That's a lot. All in 1 week?
You make it sound like you're going to Jamaica, coming back,
Get your
France.
haircut?
Yeah.
I don't like to
you're
have
gonna
to do
go
anything.
All the way out to San Leandro, right next to where you live? That's crazy.
I'll see if I can get a ride.
Okay.
That's it.
I seen the venue. It's awesome.
Oh, they're all
In pictures.
It's still awesome.
I love-
What
yeah.
saw.
Have you really seen the venue? If you've
I love
never
all
been
the
there?
field works. I haven't
Okay,
been to this
there you
one
go.
yet, but I
Yeah,
look forward to it.
all the feels. The mayor of San Leandro will be in attendance. Not the actual mayor, but the unofficial mayor. It's been confirmed.
Why not both?
What if I told you that bothers me a little bit? Now, how do you have that information, not me?
His boy,
because I
too.
made the call. I made the call, and I called Dana Ali, a.k.a. Dana X, a.k.a. Dana Duffner, a.k.a. the human rain delay, a.k.a. about 7 other things I can't say.
That is great.
And I said, Dana, field work, are you in? And he texted me back, and he misspelled my name like Guru does.
Two
every
Bs?
single, yeah.
2 Bs.
He and Guru both, double B.
Are there not two Bs?
There's always been 1B. The original name, the original 1B
There's only 1 B in this room.
has only had 1B. Dana is in, and yes, he will be holding court early and often. So Steiny, there's your right. Get the side sipper to come too. We need him in there as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
well.
You don't
So
have
the
to
morning
name him.
guys
I
got
know who you
Lake
mean.
Up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
putting you on the spot.
Oh.
Mark. What question would you want them to ask Lake Up? Like, what would you want to hear Lake Up address?
I would ask him the exact question we're talking about right now. So what is your plan for
Dude,
Klay Thompson?
what are you doing, Joe? I mean,
Yeah, what are you doing?
Get the A's.
what does
How
that
about
mean?
that, Joe?
well,
Yeah.
also, plus,
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Kerr, are you going to let him Bob Myers you?
I don't.
That doesn't.
Are you going to let him bob you?
That doesn't feel like that.
No, but then
it's weird.
Sign him.
By the way,
It's weird, right? If it's all good in the hood, why doesn't your guy that's won 4 chips got a deal?
I don't know.
What are we missing?
Because that could be coming from either side. I have no idea. Do you know what I mean? Like Bob Myers left because Bob wanted to leave, not because the Warriors wanted him gone.
Well, Joe didn't know about it until that morning.
Remember that?
So let's be fair about that.
Joe didn't believe it until that
That's
morning.
one of those things where if he's telling the truth there,
Joe didn't believe that somebody was not going to accept his offer.
And I'm going to quote Bob Fitzgerald here and say, now do you believe?
I do.
Hey,
Thank you.
what was I going to say? Steve Kerr, I'll tell you right now, you know what he's asking for? 5 for 75.
But you don't know that.
No, I don't, but he's
4 for 60.
He's asking for Monty Williams money.
Okay.
He's asking for Popovich money, which is north of money.
Now, here's something that I would, if this were to come up with Joe, here's something I would ask. Steve Kerr's contract does not go on the cap. So, Joe, who cares? What is the difference for Steve Kerr between $75 million and $60 million?
He would get both.
When you're Joe Lacob, and this is going to be paid out over a number of years, and tickets are $1,000 to get over there and do, and gosh, that doesn't even get you near the best seat. Like, what is the difference? Who cares what Steve Kerr makes?
You know what it might be?
Tell us.
It might be that Joe Lacob wants to see the year play out to know if Steve Kerr is the best coach for the job the next 3 or 4 years. I think Joe Lacob's allowing for the possibility that age may show itself on this team, and if they have a tough year, maybe at that point, Lacob's going to be like, now it's time to transition. And do you want Steve Kerr to be the coach of a team transitioning? I think that's fair.
Or is that coming from Steve?
Exactly.
Does Steve not want to necessarily be a part of the rebuild?
He told you guys he wanted to be here on a couple of occasions.
He said, now, well, we did not ask it this way, and we can next week.
Man.
Why isn't it done yet if everybody's so kumbaya?
I turtled up, I'll be honest. I'm on the road last year.
Dibs is...
That's not...
Dibs promised to...
It's Willard and Finch. It's Jenny Finch here on 95.7 The Game. I'm throwing softballs. Yeah, totally.
No, I'm sorry. I'm here.
Ever since the Steve did
I will tell you.
I've been on the road.
We did. Now, listen.
Thanks, Grandy.
We hammered him. We hammered him on his fantasy team.
Oh, we sure did.
We did do that.
Yeah.
So
he having trouble?
I don't want to hear anybody say that we didn't ask the tough questions.
I'm having trouble.
Yeah, he's 4-2. He's 4-2.
And Mark took a shot at me for having no hair, which was cool from my
it's brought to you by Great Clips, and the whole show's getting free haircuts. And I'm like, well... can I have yours too? Because what the hell are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
Give it to Steiny. He's getting a haircut tomorrow.
He sure is. But
today.
Yeah.
Today?
Lucia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going back to that place that charged you $1.25?
Rogan.
Jackson Street Salon.
Now we know
that's
why
where you're going today?
often.
Yeah. By the way, I walked down Jackson Street today on my walk from the old building to the new. Jackson Street's got action.
It's still like it looks like a little side street.
They've got boutiques. They got a couple of sneaky bars. They've got a nice little
New York
restaurant.
feel to my
Is that where the high horses?
No, I think that's over on Washington.
Yes, I think you're right.
Jackson Street's got some sneaky action in terms of like some upscale individuals looking for some feminine garb, I'll just say.
Yeah. Hey, how do you like the new office now that there's people in it?
Better.
Yeah.
I'm a people person. I like people around.
Well,
I mean,
totally.
I know that, oh gosh, it's cramped or whatever. Like, it's a lot
Got an
better.
airport type feel.
Well, it's better than empty chairs.
Yeah.
When you walk in somewhere and there's empty chairs everywhere, you're like,
The
what's
old
wrong?
building, yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I like it.
It's like, isn't that the complaint when we walk around in downtown now?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's not as many people.
But
What's
Guru's
wrong?
right. I walked in earlier today, and somebody handed me a pass, and I was in the B group, so I had to stand. I'm in like the B group for boarding.
Hey, I know somebody got a haircut.
You're not even supposed to be in here right
Totally.
now.
I got to ask you this. We kind of got into it real quick. I said, because you know where I am with Brock Purdy, it's been phenomenal. I said, had Moody made that kick, we still would have celebrated the win.
No, you didn't.
We would have had a conversation about how he played, which wasn't his best game. He says if that kick goes in, we're celebrating him getting the team in the dub, but we wouldn't have talked about his worst game. I said, no, we would have got to that. Where do you guys stand on that? That wouldn't have got lost had Jake Moody made that kick. We still would have, at some juncture this week, got to, hey, Dibs, that was your worst performance. I don't think that callers are like, oh, you make that kick, we're not. No, that's not.
It would have been Diet Brock. We would have been ripping him on the diet tip.
Brock.
We still would have been like, well, Brock's first hiccup, but he's still undefeated on games he started and finished.
And did the one thing that you really kind of needed to see, which leading a team back.
I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't think that
he still gets that, Willard.
Well, but correct, but we don't look at life that way. That's not the way it goes. Like, the last drive for Brock absolutely helped calm people down, because you could look at it the other way that you're asking. You could also say, what happens if they don't get into field goal?
Or that,
what if he only
first
gets
pass he threw could have been picked?
Right.
Oh my
what if
God.
he only goes to the 50? Now this whole week would have been about how Brock was a paper tiger and the whole thing was just a dream. Even though apparently 15 games is a small sample size, but if it's a bad game, then one game is not too small of a sample.
4 quarters, I saw enough.
I think, if you've got a QB or anybody who struggles, but then they summon the energy in the end, we love that. American sports fans love that. And that you walk away from that as a net positive. Not he had a bad game.
See,
it was he struggled, but he's the great ones figure it out in the end.
When the quarterbacks have gone through their puberty, but because this kid is so young and new, all I was telling Steiny is not beat him up. We would have focused on
the comeback.
This was the first time we've seen him struggle, Mark. That's all. And give him, here goes, kudos for driving him down.
But we all knew he was going to struggle at some point. Did we all know he could lead a game-winning drive?
I do not think it would have sounded all that different from the way he played Dallas in the playoffs last year. I know this had one turnover and that had none, but they still won the turnover battle.
And they won the game.
They did not get to 20 points. It was not all that sparkly or shiny, but he won. And especially because it was a playoff game, everybody just kind of moves forward. Yes, it was. I think it would have been. Was it not predictable that this was?
We knew it.
It was Cleveland in the rain with Myles Garrett.
They scored first. I thought it was a blowout.
But then you add in Trent Williams, Debo, and Christian. Of course, it should be hard and harder than anything he's done. I don't know. I certainly was not thinking this was going to be 353 touchdowns and no picks. I didn't think it would ever look like that.
I just got respect for the Browns D. Now, when I hear that name and that unit, Dibs, they're for real.
They should have more respect put on them than any other part of this game, because they were the unit that changed this game. And they knocked out Debo in the first play of the game. They hurt Debo, and Trent Williams got pushed back by Myles Garrett. Trent had his worst game, and I know the ankle was a big part of it, and they knocked out Christian McCaffrey as well.
So I'm worried about Williams carrying a little too much weight.
That's what they're supposed to do.
He got rolled up on.
Are you going to walk us off with that?
Yeah.
You already called Debo soft.
So's Trent.
No.
And Christian.
Soft. Trent Williams is not soft. He's just a touch overrated. 4 pressures he allowed. That's the high on the line on Sunday.
Right, while being injured.
A costly holding penalty.
Right, while being injured.
Oh, is he out of the field?
That's
yes,
my
he was.
favorite.
Are we not going to
excuses?
Stanford's
no excuses.
Comeback?
We're not right now. All right, guys, I got to hit it. I got a haircut appointment, but Goo, you're welcome to say. And tomorrow, Willard, I'm going to be sitting there. Maybe we'll have a new layout.
Tell you what, tomorrow I'll be at Fieldwork Brewing Company. You do whatever the hell you want.
Touche.